Good morning. How is everybody today? I just wrote down some keywords that I want to make sure that I say today because sometimes early in the morning, my mind is still like, oh, what's going on? So this next week will be a lot better because the kids start school tomorrow and we've got to get up earlier. We've got to get in the routine. We've got to get moving. So I'll write down my keywords, make sure that I say those. And I think I'm going to share them with you ahead of time before I tell you a little story. So my keywords today are not perfect, effort, transformation, and change. And those are words that I use a lot. Daily life, not just in work related, but just in my daily, not just in fitness situations and health and wellness, but just in life, like change, transformation, effort, and not perfect. Those are things I tell myself. I'm going to get those on the wall somewhere, but I want to start with a little story. It's kind of funny. When I was about 11 years old, I was competing in gymnastics. I think I mentioned that last time. I was trying really, really, really hard to get better. And I had kind of a little talk with my daughter about this the other day because she really, really wants to do so well in softball. And I've explained to her how you don't just wake up really good at a sport. You don't just wake up, some people are more talented and get it easier, but you're not just come out of the womb and you're like, I'm professional. It takes time, it takes effort. And I know Nathan touched on that a little bit yesterday, but this story is kind of funny because my mom and dad didn't have any money to their name. They did everything they could for me and my sport. My sister didn't do any extracurriculars, so she kind of got lost up in the shuffle of my sport. And my mom went to work all day, worked at the gym just to pay for me to go. So for me, in my head, as a very little girl, I thought I had a responsibility to live up to what they were paying for. All their hard work, I had to just keep going and I couldn't fail. I could not fail because my parents worked so hard to let me be there, right? And so my mom also got me these private lessons with one of the coaches. And this coach was not easy, and I didn't care for her style. But that, now looking back, that coach is the coach that got me where I wanted to be. That coach pushed me. That coach encouraged me, but maybe in a little more of an aggressive way than I thought I liked. But in the long run, that coach pushed me to where I wanted to be, right? So it's like when your leader or Jenny says, what's your goals? Like, if this is your goal, this is what you have to do to get there. We can't just sit back and just wait and hope that we get to our goals on our own. We need that person that's going to be able to push us. That person's going to be able to encourage, maybe not in the nicest way sometimes when you're hearing it, but that doesn't mean it's not from a loving place, right? So that on this one Friday night, the coach and I were there. The whole entire gym is closed. It was like 9:00 at night on Friday. It's just me, my mom, and this coach, right? And my mom is like, are you guys almost done in there? And the coach goes, no, she cannot leave until she gets this move. And I was trying to do like a one-handed cartwheel on a beam. Like I had already straddled the beam multiple times, and I was just tired and crying, and I just was over it. Like I was like, I don't even want to ever do this again. And my mom's like, you have to do it. And I was so frustrated. I'm like, I'm not perfect. Like I can't make everything. I can't just do everything you guys say, and this is an 11-year-old little kid. So you can imagine how that sounded when I said it out loud as a kid. But that coach just said, you know what, you can do it. I know you can do it. And you're letting fear creep in, and you're holding yourself back from your potential. You're really holding yourself back from the way that you can transform and the way that you can grow as an athlete because of fear. And I was like, okay, whatever, like I just need to hurry up and get it. So I tried again and I fell. I tried again and I fell. And I said, see, I just can't get it. Like I was just, my whole entire being was exhausted, mentally, physically, everything. So then my mom comes in, and my mom is that more of a kinder encouragement versus my coach, right? So my mom comes in and she goes, Krista, you need to get this done. You just need to get it done. And I was like, okay, but I can't. I've tried 1,000 times. And she goes, all right, so let's just pretend that NSYNC is sitting there, because that was my favorite band at the time. NSYNC is sitting there on the other beam watching you. And you got to try your very, very best to make sure that they get to see this move. Like, this is the once and only time they're going to see you do this. Like, you got to show them. And I remember just feeling like, that's stupid. It's dumb, you know, like, but at the same time, it's flipped a switch in my mind. Not only did I have my coach who was a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more pushy and like, you can do this, I know you can, you just have to try. But then I had my mom, that nurturing person, come in and who knows what, you know, something that would make me excited, like NSYNC at the time. And she was like, you pretend they're here with you, change your mindset and do it this way. And so I was like, oh, okay, guess what? Nailed it. Second try, nailed it. And then the time after, and then the time after. And I was just like, okay, that was it. And from that day forward, when it came to trying a new move and failing and failing and failing and being overwhelmed, I put in that effort every day. I worked hard every day to get it. I didn't just have that, like, I'm going to quit mentality. I didn't just give up because it was too hard. I just had that, I can do this. I just need to keep trying. Every day I need to put in effort. Every day it's going to get better. And when you do that, whether it's in your personal life and with your kids, in fitness and health, in your business, you'll see a slow transformation. It may not be every single day you see big changes, but when you put in the work, a little bit by a little bit, eventually things start to move and things start to grow. And that's where I saw the change. And I can vividly remember that night in tears, and then the way I felt when that was done. And I try to remind myself that even with our business, you know, there's days where I'll call Jenny and I'm just like, just upset. I'm upset. You know, like I either had this customer that was super pumped and then they decided not to order all of a sudden out of nowhere, but they had their aunt and their mom and everybody else was super excited. And now I've got no order. And it's like, oh, that's defeating, you know? And then, or you get this promoter that jumps on and they're super excited about it and you're ready to roll. And you're like, this person's going to be so awesome on our team. And then they back out or something doesn't work out or it's not the right timing for them. And that can be defeating. That could really, really, really make you be like, is this for me? Like, am I supposed to be doing this? Like, I was so excited and now I'm not. I shouldn't just get excited anymore, right? I say that all the time. I shouldn't get this excited anymore because of the letdown. But you know what? Those little conversations, and even if they say no, or even if they back out for now, is really a blessing because you don't want anyone jumping into this business with you until they're ready. You don't want them to, you know, jump in and fail and then not be interested anymore and give up. Like, you want somebody who's going to be resilient, who's going to put in the effort, who's going to transform with you and help grow with you if that's what their goals are. So yeah, that's pretty much, I can't imagine my life today without that experience as a gymnast as a kid, just because that's what formed a lot of the ways that I think, and I think my positivity and the way that I work on changing my mindset a lot. I think being in sports as a child is so important because it really helps grow a lot of different things physically and mentally for you. And I'm just lucky that my mom and dad did everything they could to put me in what they could. And without that, I don't think I would have that go-getter personality. And I hope that listening to these morning messages in the morning just kind of gives you a little bit of insight and a little bit of fire from each of us and how different we are and how different we run our, you know, leadership, and we can help each other grow and we can all transform and change together. And hopefully you can find that person. Maybe you want the more nurturing mama person that can kind of like, okay, we can do it. Or maybe you need that person who's like, no, you got to do this today. You can do it today. And maybe you need both. I think I kind of need both. So I'm grateful that I have people on my team that can kind of push me in both directions and be like, you're awesome and you got this. And then somebody else is like, you need to be doing more. Yes. So, all right, that's all for me today, Jenny.
So, Krista, that was so good. I have one question for you. The times you feel defeated, or you're not sure if it's for you, or all of those things, can you tell me what's like if you had to pick one thing that makes you keep going, like what is it that in the moment you feel that way, but you keep pressing forward? What is it that keeps you pressing forward?
Like in life or with Thrive?
With your business.
To be honest, it's the product. It's when I wake up every morning, Mommy, and I don't want to get up, Mommy, because I don't like waking up in the morning, and I take my capsules right there. I'm like, I have to share this product. I just have to. I can't keep this to myself. Like, even if I mean, it would be so easy just to be like, well, I'm just going to take Thrive myself. But I feel like it's a responsibility of mine that I share what changes my life every day. And that was what got me into being a promoter. I wasn't looking for that business. I already had a business at home. I didn't want to get involved in something else. I didn't think I could, handle it at the time, but I felt responsible for the people that I love. And I knew that I could make their lives better. And I think that's kind of why I get my feelings hurt sometimes when people don't jump on board, is because I'm so passionate about how this can make you better. I know you need this, and so, but I do know that the no's don't always stay no's. And I've had a lot of people that right out of the gate were like, no, thank you. I don't do that kind of stuff, that have called me back and been like, okay, I need to try it because you're still thriving. They're watching you. They want to make sure that you're sticking to it. It's not like a fad for you. And once they see that and they see you're consistent and you're posting about it, because that's how they can tell, then they come back around.
I love it. All right. Well, that was so awesome. Thank you, Krista. Go out into your day, you guys, and be determined and be resilient, and don't let anything, defeat and keep you down, right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, we'll see you tomorrow morning with Miss Ariel. I hope you guys have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you,
Bye.
Krista. Bye. Thank you, Krista.
Thank you, Krista.
Thank you, Chris.